In the heart of the bustling city, amidst the symphony of hurried footsteps and distant sirens, lived a man named Arthur. He was a creature of routine, a ghost in his own life. Each day was a carbon copy of the last: wake up, commute, work in a gray cubicle, commute back, and sleep. He felt invisible, as if the world moved on a different frequency, one he couldn't tune into. His world was small, confined by the walls of his apartment and the silence of his own making. He'd forgotten the taste of genuine connection, the warmth of a shared smile. His heart, once full of dreams, now felt like a hollow echo chamber. One Tuesday, the city was particularly unforgiving. A cold, relentless rain lashed against the windows, mirroring the storm brewing inside Arthur. He'd been passed over for a promotion he'd worked tirelessly for. The rejection felt personal, another brick in the wall he'd built around himself. Dragging his feet through puddles that swallowed the neon lights of the city, he felt the weight of his loneliness pressing down, heavier than ever. He clutched his worn-out briefcase, a shield against a world he felt no part of. All he wanted was to get home, to disappear into the familiar quiet of his empty apartment. As he neared his subway station, a frantic scene caught his eye. An elderly woman, her face etched with panic, was struggling with a mountain of grocery bags. A flimsy paper bag, soaked through by the rain, had given way. Oranges, apples, and a carton of milk tumbled onto the grimy, wet pavement. People rushed past, a river of umbrellas and averted gazes, too absorbed in their own haste to notice her distress. They stepped around the rolling fruit, their expressions ranging from mild annoyance to complete indifference. The woman's shoulders slumped in defeat, her small, frail frame looking utterly lost in the indifferent crowd. For a moment, Arthur was part of that river. His first instinct was to keep walking, to let the current carry him home to his solitude. Why should he stop? No one else was. It wasn't his problem. The thought was cold and familiar. But then, something shifted. He looked at the woman's face, at the tremble in her lip, and saw a reflection of his own feelings of being overwhelmed and overlooked. He saw a flicker of shared humanity in her eyes. It was a fleeting moment, a spark in the downpour, but it was enough. He took a deep breath, stepped out of the flow, and walked towards her. "Ma'am, let me help you with that," he said, his voice a little rusty from disuse. The woman looked up, surprised, a glimmer of relief washing over her anxious features. Without waiting for a reply, Arthur knelt on the wet ground, the cold seeping through his trousers. He began gathering the scattered groceries, his hands working quickly to rescue the oranges from rolling into the street. He carefully placed the items into his own sturdy briefcase, emptying his work papers onto a dry spot on a nearby bench. A few passers-by slowed, their curiosity piqued by the unexpected sight of a man in a suit kneeling in a puddle to pick up spilled groceries. The woman, whose name was Eleanor, watched him with grateful eyes. "Oh, thank you, young man. Thank you so much," she repeated, her voice trembling with emotion. Once everything was secured, Arthur helped her to her feet. He noticed she was unsteady, her hands shaking slightly. "Where are you headed?" "I can walk with you. Make sure you and your groceries get home safe and sound," he offered. Eleanor lived just a few blocks away, in a charming old brownstone he'd passed 1,000 times but never truly seen. He carried the heavy briefcase, now filled with her groceries, and held his umbrella over her, shielding her from the persistent rain. As they walked, a strange thing happened. They talked. Eleanor, it turned out, was a retired librarian with a passion for classic literature and a wicked sense of humor. She spoke of her late husband, a jazz musician, and the adventures they'd shared. She asked Arthur about his work, not just what he did, but if he enjoyed it. For the first time in years, Arthur spoke about his forgotten passion for photography, for capturing fleeting moments of beauty in the urban landscape. The conversation flowed easily, filling the silence he was so accustomed to. He felt a warmth spreading through his chest that had nothing to do with escaping the rain. When they reached her apartment, Eleanor insisted he come in for a cup of tea to dry off. Her home was the complete opposite of his own stark apartment. It was filled with books, colorful paintings, and the comforting scent of cinnamon and old paper. As she prepared the tea, her grandson, a young man named Leo, walked in. Leo was a documentary filmmaker, and he was immediately intrigued by the story of their meeting. "You know," Leo said, looking at Arthur thoughtfully, "your story is incredible. A moment of kindness in a city that can feel so disconnected. It's powerful." Leo explained he was working on a project about human connection and small acts that create big ripples. He asked if he could interview Arthur to feature his simple act of kindness in his film. Hesitantly, Arthur agreed. The interview was cathartic. Speaking to Leo, Arthur rediscovered parts of himself he thought were long gone. He talked about his photography, and Leo's eyes lit up. He encouraged Arthur to pick up his camera again, offering to connect him with a local gallery owner he knew. A door Arthur thought was permanently locked had just been nudged open. Weeks turned into months. Arthur and Eleanor became firm friends, sharing weekly dinners. She became the grandmother he never had, her wisdom and laughter filling the void in his life. True to his word, Leo introduced Arthur to the gallery owner. Inspired, Arthur had started taking photos again, his lens no longer focused on empty streets but on the faces and connections within the city. The gallery owner was impressed by his unique perspective and offered him a small exhibition. The opening night was a blur of smiling faces and warm congratulations. For the first time, Arthur saw people not as a crowd, but as individuals, each with a story. He felt seen. Leo's documentary, featuring Arthur's story as its centerpiece, went on to win several awards at independent film festivals. It touched a nerve, reminding thousands of people of the power they held to change someone's day, or even their life, with a simple gesture. Arthur's life was unrecognizable from the one he had been living. He had a community of friends, a renewed passion that was blossoming into a new career, and a heart full of gratitude. He was no longer a ghost in the city, he was a part of its vibrant, beating heart. Looking back, he would often think of that rainy Tuesday, of the split-second decision to stop. It was such a small thing, helping a stranger with her groceries. A moment he could have so easily walked past. If only he had known then, kneeling in that puddle, that he wasn't just picking up oranges. He was picking up the scattered pieces of his own life and putting them back together in a way that was more beautiful and more whole than he could have ever imagined. That single, small act of kindness wasn't just a ripple, it was the tidal wave that brought him back to shore. Thank you for watching. If this story touched you, remember that you have the power to be the turning point in someone else's story. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content that inspires. See you next time.